Hey boys and girls, GameCam here, and we are back for another season of TF2 Youtubers. Obviously we did another season before. We had 10 episodes of that, increasing. Obviously we had to start off very small people, we worked our way up. Obviously this time there is going to be no camera, well, at least for this episode. Maybe in later episodes we can have some camera, but at the moment it's just the fact that you know, I'm not in any shape or form to go in front of a camera. It's getting in wintertime, living next to a marsh, all the bugs come into the house, so I got more holes on my face than a cheese man, which is a bit of a problem, so I might have to get. I'm hoping to do the channel trailer and some other stuff though, at which point I'll have to be in front of a camera, so I'll have to try and find out some makeup artist or something to help me out with that one. Anyway, moving on here, boys and girls. Our first one of this first episode of the second series is Silent Fury. Silent Fury, he does gameplay videos, and he does he does a lot of a lot of interesting gameplay from like pubs and stuff like that. He has like editing over the top and things like that. His plus sides of his channel are the fact that he's got his editing's got a lot better as he's grown. Obviously, I've known him for a while, so I have seen a couple of his videos when he was earlier on and then when he was later on, and his editing has got a lot better. It's actually looking really good now. In his more recent videos, it's actually really good quality. The outro is actually really good. His outro is actually fairly decent, quite interesting to look at. That sort of stuff. His thumbnails are pretty decent. It's really, they're quite interesting to look at, as well as his outro is. They look like they're well designed, well laid out. The audio is generally good as well. Not can't really complain there. It all comes through fairly. The audio, you don't get like crackling or anything like that. But in the negatives now, well, not negatives, but like things you can improve. Again, as always, I'm not saying that these are negatives of the YouTubers. These are just things they could possibly work on. One of them is the fact that some jokes fall flat, and he sort of carries them on and sort of, they sometimes fall. They're good, funny. You get like first time, and then they sort of possibly drag out a bit too much sometimes. So possibly maybe make a joke and then possibly leave it. Make another joke instead of carrying on the joke. But again, that might just be my personal opinion on the comedy. I might not just get the joke possibly. So his voice sometimes is a bit too quiet. Sometimes you don't necessarily pick up what he says, or sometimes he sort of possibly mumbles a bit and you can't really catch what he's saying, which can be an issue. Especially when you're trying to pick out, a joke, or he's making a joke or something like that, which is a bit of a problem. Next one is there is a relatively large gap between videos, which I understand. Obviously, I think he's a fairly young adolescent, so I think he's probably going through high school and things like that, and probably has his own problems to deal with, which I can understand. But it's just the fact that I'm looking this is from a viewpoint of a viewer. Obviously, if I didn't know your background, then I wouldn't know that. I'd just accept that he's got quite a large gap between videos. Anyway, that's all of Silent Fury. Moving on to our second one. Our second one is Nyanzak. He does instructional videos, rally call videos, SFMs, and shout out. He did a shout out series a while ago. He hasn't done it since. He did do a TF2 roundup series, which is news based, but he has. I think he's had some issues with getting that going still. So obviously that might be coming soon. He has great thumbnails. His thumbnails are really good. Generally, they're all on point. They're all very well organised and laid out, and actually look really well. He's actually the guy that does the thumbnails for my channel, by the way. In case any of you actually bother to look in the description of them, you'll notice that quite a lot of mine are actually made by Nyanzak. He does very good jobs with them. I don't always have time to make them, so he helps out. And in return, I put them into the description, and every time someone asks for an SFM, I tend to point them in his direction. His videos, his showcases are very good. They're straight to the point. They show what it is. They give a good view of how it works, how it looks on models, things like that. He did this really good one for the 24-hour map making one. That was pretty good. Recommend you check that one out. His videos are fairly irregular. Again, he sort of switches around. There's not any like sort of similar theme coming through it. So he doesn't like just do like gameplay or something. I mean, I have no problem branching out and doing different things. It's just that some people, if they go there, they subscribe for one thing, you know, they might not, you know, have different. You know, it's a bit annoying if you subscribe to someone for one thing, and then they're doing like lots of other different things. You might like have to wait a while for your video, which is a bit frustrating. I mean, it's not ridiculous. It's one of the like smallest problems you're ever going to come across. And possibly make some. He possibly needs to work more on doing some of his, you know, own stuff. Maybe think of some own gameplay videos, or maybe his own items, or maybe own SFM sort of things. Possibly do work a little more on himself than possibly doing, you know, items for, you know, things for others. I mean, he's a really good guy, which means I just want him to like be able to focus on himself a bit more. I think that would be good. Obviously, I recommend maybe do some more gameplay footage, like sort of edit in some gameplay footage. Maybe you could do some like cutscenes with like SFM and stuff like that. You know, he could do it with his good friend Monkey Spy. They could do it with him, or maybe even because obviously he does a lot of SFM. But he hasn't done animation yet, so possibly he could start looking at doing some animation. That might be an interesting idea. I mean, there's lots of tutorials online. I've started looking through some and started to try to do some, but I suck at it. And I don't have the time, sadly, to sit around and look at it all the time, which is a shame. But again, hopefully later off I'll be able to pull around and do it. But anyway, I think you should possibly look at it. Anyway, for our third one is Captain Cannonball. He does gameplay commentaries and some animations, which is pretty cool. He's not done that many videos, but again, he looks like he's getting more into the flow of it, and he seems like a nice guy. So it'll be interesting to see how, you know, what he produces next. He's got a really cool intro. His intro is actually really good for a guy of his sort of sub count. You know, usually they're not as good, but it's actually really well done. I really like the animation. It works really well with his whole sort of Captain Cannonball sort of theme sort of thing. It works really well. He also has good thumbnails. His thumbnails are actually pretty nice. I quite enjoy them. They're fairly straight to the point. Quite you know, nice lighting in them. He also has good transitions between, like, in his videos, between like certain scenes. He has like nice transition between them, so you're not you know, sitting there. You know, sometimes it's a bit juddery, but it's actually moved really smoothly. The only things you could improve on is upload schedule, possibly make it a bit more regular, a bit more of a regular upload schedule, especially when he's doing like gameplay and stuff like that. I think that possibly you possibly could belt down and do that like maybe 2 a week, or possibly, you know, increase it a bit more. Audio quality is okay, but could be a bit better. And video quality is a bit, you know, possibly you could upgrade his graphics or something like that. Again, the FPS is a bit low as well. I'm not, you know, again, he might just have PC problems, things like that. But it's just, you know, it's just how it goes, really. And possibly when he does it, like, you know, does like videos where he's talking over the top or something like that, and not actually just focusing on the gameplay. Maybe you could have a bit more exciting footage, like, you know, possibly play a few matches and then pick the most exciting footage instead of just doing one and then sort of just picking it. But again, I don't know. The background noise, I'm sure there's a perfectly good reason, and possibly he just doesn't have a good enough PC, who knows, with these sort of things. Moving on, well, first off, also, actually, sorry, I forgot to say, things that I think Cannonball should do. He could possibly do some more double donk sort of tips, because obviously double donk is kind of his thing. Maybe you could have double donk Mondays or something like that, or where he plays like a match on one of the maps, so it's double donk, and says whether it's a good map for double donk, or maybe a bad map for double donk, you know, sort of like Captain Cannonball's reviews or something like that. So, you know, sort of interesting ideas of what you can do with that sort of character. You could also do some collaborations, maybe work with some other people. I don't think he's done any collaborations yet, so you can possibly work with some of the other people around. Obviously, there's quite a lot of people in this community, and you can sort of band together and possibly work with another Cannonman or something like that, or maybe work on some other ideas. Possibly come in ways like with the double dunk, how to like work around pyros and work with pyro. So obviously how you can, because obviously double dunk sometimes is a bit susceptible to pyro, but it depends really. Moving on to our last one. Our last one is ZEG, Z-E-G. He's does very good. He does like instructional videos. They're quite nice. They're quite well done. He's got very good thumbnails. The animations for annotations for his videos are also very good. He's also got good gameplay. You know, he clearly is good at the game, and pardon me. And some of the footage he has is you know, very well done. He's good information. Again, all the all the information in his videos are very well done, very well presented, and you know, clearly help out a lot of people. He's also got good quality footage, so his footage always looks very well done, very, you know, good FPS, etc, etc. He's also got you know, good outro. His outro is actually pretty good. I actually really enjoy his outro. His outro is certainly well done, well thought about, etc, etc. It's all very good. Obviously things he could possibly improve here now. He has a wide gap between videos, but he's looking at changing that. But obviously, again, that's something he still has to improve. Possibly it could be considered a bit too quiet in his videos. Possibly needs to turn up his audio volume a bit, or possibly speak a bit louder into his microphone. You know, that might help out. Possibly put in because I saw in one of his videos, he puts like the Hotline Miami music. Which is just like, I mean, the Hotline Miami music's good. I love the Hotline Miami music myself. I listen to it all the time. I actually bought the soundtrack and listen to it all the time on my phone. But it's just the fact that I don't want to listen to it every 5 seconds. Quite a lot of people actually do use it, so it's become kind of cliche, possibly. So possibly maybe turn down the 80s, you know, weird retro funk music, sort of avoid sort of Hotline Miami style music for a little bit. Try and mix it up a bit, because I would love to have used the Hotline Miami music in mine, but I use instead some sort of western cowboy sort of feel to it. Again, possibly with gameplay as well, because I noticed in 2 of his videos he reused gameplay, which I noticed. I don't know if anyone else would notice, but again, you might want to avoid reusing gameplay. Record some new stuff. You don't necessarily need a voice in it as always, but you know, reusing gameplay is not generally perceived as good. Possibly things he can do. He could try and do a medic tips, but again, a lot of people have done medic tips. Might try and think about something more original than that. Possibly tips in other areas, maybe something different. Maybe you could do some more. Basically, you could do some pub gameplay with Apple and try and think of more ways that possibly spies and medics can sort of collaborate together a bit more, because you know, again, you see them all sort of like running off together, but possibly might be interesting to see how they could work together in more of an interesting sort of cooperative standpoint between medics and spies. So that might be a good video for him and Apple to do together. Again, or anyone else. He could do some videos for anyone else, or possibly do some gameplay videos. That'd be really cool. But again, as always, thank you very much for watching this. I think that's all of them done. That's all 4. Again, this series is, if you haven't seen the original series, go back and see the original series. In these videos, I basically talk about 4 YouTubers and go through the positives and things they can improve and things they can possibly do. And how that, you know, hopefully they'll watch this and help out. And if you guys haven't gone and seen them, I recommend you go check them out. Their channels will be in the description as always, and you know, really go check them out. They're all good people. Once you're done checking them out, possibly go back to my channel homepage and go to the sidebar, check out some of the people in there as well, because they're all good. And generally check out their stuff and enjoy them, because they're all good stuff. I try and only pick people with generally good stuff. As always say, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you're looking forward to the next series. I'll try and do them as regularly as I can, but again, this is going to be possibly a bit more infrequent than the last series, because of the fact that I'm much busier now. Anyway, thank you very much, and catch you guys later. Another advantage, obviously, he does helpful vids, so he does obviously SMF, some of the tutorials he does for SMF and things like that are really useful. He does a lot of guides for classes as well, so like how to get better at Scout and Pyro. And generally, all the things he says in there are generally good points that I agree with on quite a lot of levels, on a lot of them. So he generally does pretty in-depth and decent guides. I mean, not like hugely in-depth, but they're in-depth enough. Guides, so he does some really good guides, and all his videos have a generally relaxing vibe. I mean, there's not any screaming or anything like that, so I guess if you're just calming down for the day, I guess a lot of his videos are actually really good. So obviously that's the advantages. Now moving on to the disadvantages. This is just again just stuff to but he does have a bit of a monotonous voice, so his voice stays on one level, so he'll talk in a deep voice for the entire thing.